What's up, gang? How you guys doing? This is Lieutenant Sal Blue. I'm here with my daily podcast, Unscripted today, and it's episode 105. 106, episode 106. See, that's right. I have nothing written down on this. Well, I have a couple of things, but that's yesterday's notes on the paper. And anyway, I'm laughing right now because we got a new puppy. Introducing her to Shelby. Shelby, 14 years old, going on 15. Be 15 in April, Shelby. So we got a new puppy. I'm introducing her to her. You know, everybody has excitement, anxiety, worry, and the puppy is wearing everybody out. And it's just like having a new child, having a puppy. So it is about training and adapting to something new. And so I guess that is probably what I want to talk about in today's podcast. How do you adapt to something new that you thought, or your old memories, right? Your old memories of it were pleasant, right? You had old pleasant memories, but now when you're in it, you realize that, man, maybe it wasn't as nice as I thought it was back then, and it's so crazy. I see that with parents who have older children who go back and have younger children, their children, 5-10 years apart, and I see it on their faces as in, what was I thinking, right? So a lot of times when we experience something in life, no matter how troubling it was, or no matter how difficult it was, or how trying the times were, what we do later on is we look back at it 5-10 years later, and the impact doesn't have as much punch as it did when we were going through it, right? So whether it was the experience that we gained by doing it, or whether just the over time, how you forget about how something has compacted you, beat you up, or something has left its mark on you, but over time it fades. So I'm gonna talk about that on today's podcast, guys, because I think it's funny, man. I think it's funny. I think it's exciting. I think it's awesome. At the same time, all the above, man. So hey, let's get to it. What's up, gang? How you guys doing? It is Lieutenant Sal Blue, 28-year law enforcement veteran and the author of the Top 25 Mistakes en Route to the Good Life. Coming at you today. Today I'm coming at you, and we are talking about life experiences, right? My podcast, as I told everybody on YouTube before I jumped on Spotify, that my podcast today is unscripted, right? Didn't write anything out, just because we just have a lot going on. We have a new addition to the family. Akita is a new addition to my family. Little Dutch hound, about 8 pounds, and full of energy, hops like a rabbit. So Shelby is, on the fence as far as excitement is concerned. Shelby's going to be 15 years old in April, so not too many things get her all worked up. And so we're just learning about Akita and how she is and her habits, and we're just figuring out how we're going to deal with her as far as having a new puppy. And so as I began talking to everybody on YouTube before I hopped on Spotify, was that, we have a tendency as people to, over time, say that things were either great or they weren't as bad as they were when as time fades, as time goes. So you can go through all type of traumatic experiences, and 5-10 years from now, when you're looking back on it in retrospect, you go, oh, well, that wasn't as bad, and you start thinking that wasn't as bad, and as I said before, you have parents that have had children, and children go through those stages, and parents begin to think, 5-10 years from now, man, I should have another child. You know, it'd be awesome to have another child. Remember how incredible it was when we had a child, how in love we were, how we cooperated, how everything just worked out perfectly when we had a child. And it's most of the time it's an illusion. It's the illusion that you tell yourself when you have gone through an experience. And so you've gone through that experience, and whether it was traumatic, whether it was whatever it was, right? You went through it, and so you push it to the back of your mind. And but as you bring up the memory of it, you bring back the good times, the pleasant times, the great moments. And so you are willing at a certain point in time to say, hey, listen, let's give it a go at it and relive it. Let's see if I'm better skilled at handling this situation. Let's see if I'm better skilled at having children. Let's see if I'm better skilled at being a parent. And you may be. And you may be, guys. But at the same time, understand that you may not be. Right? Your patience may be wearing thin. You may be a little older. You may not have as much energy as you had before. So you may have the knowledge, but you may not have the physical attributes to handle the same things that you handled when you were younger. So understand that when you are taking that leap, that step, guys, to move toward bringing something that you used to have in the past that was probably difficult back then with the disillusion of what it would be in your life today. So, and the reason why I'm talking about this is because we had a puppy before. We had a puppy before, 14 years ago when Shelby was a puppy, right? And so, all of us as a family, everybody, every single one of us agreed that, oh man, she is an incredible dog, and she is she's just great. And so, we went on this quest, my wife, to get another puppy. And she was excited about it. And that is awesome. Beautiful Dutch Hound, Akita, fantastic. But at the same time, she is a lot of work. And consumes a large amount of our time. A large amount of my wife's time, a large amount of my daughter's time. Just to get her to the point of where she may never get to the point of Shelby, who is calm and reserved, right? Who doesn't go barking and crying all night. She may never get to that point. But the fact of the matter is that we are not in it. We're in it thick, man, and we are trying to learn. And this learning curve is a lot steeper than we thought it was going to be, because what we imagined was the learning curve of the past and how good it was. But now that I think back, right, there were many, many days where Shelby was in the garage whining and crying all night long. As I think back about it, all night long. And so 15 years later, you tend not to think about that. You tend not to think about the impact that it had on your sleep. Maybe because you were younger and you had more energy. But now that we're older, it is a different story, guys. So what are the things in your life, and then I have a question for you guys. What are the things in your life, right, that you have a desire to do today, now, that you want to work on, that maybe you tried in the past, but it felt difficult, or it was overwhelming, or it was very, very traumatic? What are those things, guys? As I think about it, right, I have had relationships with people who I've dealt with in my past, and they were friends, they were in my circle, and later on in life, I decided to try to be friends with them, and after a couple of meetings, a couple of moments, a couple of outings, I realized, right, why I was not, or I moved out of that circle of influence, as I like to say. I moved on from that. And so you guys have to realize this and begin to put things in a much better perspective in order not to go backwards in life, in order not to lose traction on what you're trying to achieve right now.